Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll discuss how the rich and the poor teach their children about their heritage and legacies. It is the desire of all parents to have children who are proud of their heritage and to pass on their own legacies to their offspring. This is true for people of all social backgrounds, mindsets, and financial statuses. However, the rich and the poor may employ different teaching strategies and approaches when imparting these values. In this video, we'll share with you 10 things that the rich teach their children that the poor don't. Before we begin, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our future videos. Let's get started. Number 1. The rich make their children know about money and the best way it can be gotten, while the poor unconsciously teach their children to be ignorant of money and how it works by keeping it a secret from them. The rich do all they can to expose their kids to the basics of money by starting early enough to teach about it. The rich do not take pains to teach their children about money just for them to be money conscious to the point of wanting to get rich by doing illegitimate businesses. Their aim is to open the eyes of their children to the value of using their skills, talents, and knowledge to solve people's problems, and, by so doing, earn money by working hard on providing sustainable solutions. The rich let their children know that the best way to stay rich is to find an area of interest, offer value, and get paid in exchange for the services they provide. The poor only talk about money when they are already in debt and need to let their children know that it's time for them to start managing everything. Number 2. The rich teaches their children the importance of having successful people as friends and allies. According to a saying, like birds, people flock together. Nobody else emphasizes the importance of being close to one's own kind like the wealthy do. It is wired in them that it takes the rubbing together of like minds to be closer to one's goals and aspirations. They did and achieved success. In turn, their children are taught to get close to people that are like them, or even better than them, in order to increase their levels of reasoning. The rich kids are encouraged to attend functions where successful people are in attendance, to read books written by the successfully wealthy, to join the networks and social groups they belong to, and also to be able to experiment with the knowledge they have been able to gain from successful people. The poor don't want to be associated with the rich unless there are gifts to be received. Number 3. The rich teach their children to buy assets. An asset is a money-yielding property. A liability is a money-consuming property. The difference between an asset and a liability is clear to the rich but unknown to the poor. The poor are fixated on the idea of getting money to spend on things they want, whereas the rich operate under the concept of getting money to fund what will still give them money in return. They hardly give room for spending frivolously, except if they can cater to the frivolities with their assets, which the poor do otherwise. Bear in mind that having money doesn't necessarily make one rich. It is the financial knowledge and the power of mindset that distinguish the poor from the rich. So in teaching their children, the rich tell them what they know works. The wealthy make it clear that building on assets to generate income is far more important than winning the lottery and blowing all your winnings extravagantly in order to acquire necessities and pay for luxury items. Number 4. Rich people teach their children that success is a product of diligence. The rich are not forgetful. They are always aware that they never had a glamorous outing in their journey to becoming wealthy. In order to reproduce their kind, they repeatedly teach their children that the same rough path awaits them if they are successful. A lot of sacrifices will be made, including on time and certain personal enjoyments, in order to be rich. More mental work is encouraged by the rich, especially since it is necessary to think about long-term ventures. The poor fantasize about getting rich overnight, and do not hesitate to let their children know that. Number 5. The rich teach their children the power of meaningful focus. Out there in the world, many challenges abound. It is a battle for survival without owing anyone an apology. The rich make it a point of duty to instill in their children the desire for the right focus on valuable interests and goals. Without paying mindful attention to their path to success, the possibilities of getting carried away are very many, especially through trivial issues. The poor are not aware of the power of meaningfully focusing, and so they cannot let their children know that it is easy to start well, but challenging to finish well without focus. Number 6. The rich teach their children good habits that lead to success. Waking up early, having your quiet time, reading more books on successful people than entertainment news, saving in the piggy bank. Those are a few of the habits rich people model and teach their children, which will help them be successful in life. Other successful ways of living center on one's interactions with others and with oneself. They teach them self-confidence, respect, willingness to learn, and time management habits. The lack of a definite habit that can lead to success means that the poor resign themselves to fate. Number 7. The rich teach their children to invest because they have been successful at it. The rich know it is much better to make more wealth by investing their money in their areas of interest and passion than by spending it. This is what they teach their children. Investing in one's interests and passions can take many forms, such as attending school to learn, learning a skill, buying stocks, developing a skill that one already possesses, etc. Number 8. The rich teach their children to take money as a means to an end, and not the end itself. Whereas the poor think that all their problems will be solved when money comes, the rich think that money doesn't solve every problem. The mindset of the poor toward money quickly puts them in trouble once they stumble onto a large sum. They discover that they are further into debt than they were prior to receiving the money, going back to square one. Some of them hoard money and end up keeping it someplace where it will lose value with time. The wealthy instill in their children a greater interest in producing something that solves issues and aids others in achieving their goals. Acquiring money is just a side goal, not the goal in and of itself. Number 9. The rich encourage their children to make more money rather than run away from expenses. They concentrate more on making more money through multiple streams of income than on being worried that there are expenses to be made. The poor focus more on cutting down on expenses than on increasing their affinity toward wealth making. Number 10. The rich teach their children to make money work for them. Being rich means being free to do anything with money, as long as it is not against the law. The rich teach their children that it is not all about physical exertion as much as it is about being able to work smart and let money do the work. It all lies in ideas, communication, and working with the right people. When everyone is firmly planted, a lot of money can come in passively with little work. In conclusion, what the rich do is very simple. They simply teach their kids what they know that others don't know. If you were born to poor parents, that's not a bad thing. But you must understand that most things your parents taught you about money are probably wrong. We advise you to form the habit of reading good books written by rich and successful people. This way, you'll become a student of the rich and eventually become rich. That brings us to the end of this video. How much do you like this video? We value your feedback, so if you have any thoughts or suggestions about this video, please leave a comment and let us know. And don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. See you soon, and thanks for watching.